What is up, the Entrepreneur DNA? Welcome back to another incredible episode. I have a dynamic duo here. They are a couple that was able to make a way out of no way. Everything was working against them. However, they decided they wanted something in life and they went for it. And now they've created an incredible business, great rental portfolio. And now they have a whole lot of options because they can RV around the US doing what they want, when they want, with each other. We have Shane and Victoria Childress here. What's happening?
Yeah, thanks for having us, Justin.
Yeah. So I started that by saying you made a way out of no way, and we were talking off camera just about your start of all this. And you guys wanted something different. You wanted something more. You were at home. You were working in the tech field, and you just made a decision. And from that decision, you now have a life that I think most husbands and wives and children would like, because it has a connective tissue.
Depends on the day.
It depends on the day.
Yeah.
And I want people to understand your story. So I want to kind of start from the beginning a little bit about you being in the tech space, you having your 9-to-5, you being at home, starting to buy real estate, breaking into this entrepreneurial world, which was not normal. So let's start there, and then we'll get that whole story all the way out.
Go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, so we were living in Dallas at, I guess almost 21 years ago now, right? 21 years ago. And
how old are you? Okay.
yeah, it's our daughter Ava, just off screen here.
Off screen.
Our son, we have a son that's 18 as well, and he's actually traveling. He's just landed in Mongolia yesterday morning. So
That's so cool.
they're going to the
How
Eagle
does mom
Festival.
feel about that?
I feel great. Like, he graduated and he went straight to travel. So
Nice.
he's been traveling since May. Like, we
I
haven't seen him.
think, and maybe you'll agree, I think boys, they should graduate and like not be able to go to college.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ready. Maturity wise, mental wise, like we're a mess with all the hormones. Like, I think either military or like go travel, get life experience.
That's
Like,
exactly what
go to work,
Yeah.
go do something. College isn't it, in my opinion.
No, that's 100% where we are. Like, college is great if you have a very specific practice you're going after. Like, Ava wants to be a chiropractor and then eventually work in the equine. So that's a little different story, right?
100%.
But I 100% think she needs
But
to go
again,
travel for at least a
Female
year
versus
before.
males.
Yes.
I still
That
believe
is the
she needs to
difference.
travel.
What the hell? What were you doing graduating high school?
Well,
Exactly.
my
I was an idiot. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
for sure.
how much more beer can I drink? Right? Like, that was me.
yeah.
And so anyways, back to your story. I love that you guys have a son that's like going out to Mongolia of all places. Like,
Yeah.
that's
No, it's
insane.
great. It's the adventure, right? So we started, I had a dream. I went to college, and about a year into it, I realized, school was never for me. College wasn't for me. So I left and joined the tech space, got really lucky, worked my ass off, got into some really good companies.
Funny how luck works, right? When
Yeah.
you work your ass off and you tend to get
Harder
luckier
you work, the
and
luckier you
luckier
get.
and
Yeah.
luckier. Yeah, it's weird.
So I worked myself into a position where I was traveling all over the U.S. and kind of owned my own schedule and had larger accounts. I was doing some really good things. It's like textbook story life. That's exactly what people work for. And then I met Victoria St. Patrick's Day at the Dallas Parade on Greenville Avenue, and we met one day, and we haven't left each other's side since then, right?
Said, let's do this until it's not fun anymore.
There you go.
Yeah.
And here we are 20
Here we
years
are.
later.
Okay.
Hell yeah. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, and so that was not the whole story is you didn't stay in tech. You now.
No, yeah. So
or-
we started rolling through as we started having, getting closer together, and we started building a family together. I realized as holy shit, as a father and a husband, like, if I'm down, what does my family do? Does she got to go work on the corner? Like, what's got to happen
That's
here, right?
right.
Where's
Like, what are the options here?
So I was like, it's my job if I leave this world to make sure they're taken care of. So we started looking at, all these different options. Do we start a business? Do we buy a business? Do we get a rental house? Like, what do we do? And after a ton of research, and there's a little bit of history before that too, that we've looked at some other properties and stuff. But we found a location. We started buying houses in that location, and we got to a point where we had 3 properties, and then like all the realtors, we were finding realtors.
I'll back that too. Like, I grew up really, really poor and in housing and stuff like that. So one of my goals in
Like
life
government
was
housing.
yeah. So one of my goals was to own like properties and be the landlord.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we got.
So you
started
knew
with
that
too.
when did that start for you? When you looked around as a child and was like, this
I mean,
is
I
it.
remember. So both my parents had substance abuse issues. So I remember negotiating with landlords and being like, hey, rent this property to us. Like, I promise it's going to be taken care of. And
She was doing all this at like 11 years old.
yeah.
So I have a similar story
Uh-huh.
where my family, my mom, my dad, and stepfather were all alcoholics.
Mhm.
So like, not the negotiating with landlords, but like I was always fending for myself and doing the things that I needed done, and so I can
Yeah.
empathize greatly with that, right? And so as a kid, you were able to see kind of like that side,
Yeah.
but then real estate to some extent was appealing.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, yeah. 100%. And like, I wanted to be on the other side and help people. You know?
Yeah.
So really, that's what
you know, I find that when people, like, I'll give you a quick tidbit about me is I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur because when I was a kid, I would drive around on recycling day and I'd go pick up the bottles and the cans and
Yep.
bring it to the recycling so I can make 1 penny or 5 pennies depending upon the jar or the can.
You must have been in Oregon or Washington.
I was in California.
Okay, yeah, there too. Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Right. Or like when I got a little older, like 8 years old, I would ask my mom to take me to the baseball card shop. I'd borrow $20. I'd say, hey, Mom, I'm going to go buy a box of cards. I know how to flip them and sell them, and I'll give you your money back. And she's like, whatever, kid. Right. So she literally would sit in the parking lot. I'd buy a box of baseball cards. I would open them in front of the store owner. I would sell him the ones he would want back. And almost every time I would double my money.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he made a great profit because I still sold it wholesale so he could sell it retail. But like I would come back and I would have my own $20 and she would get hers back. And she was always like, oh, great. Right now, meanwhile, she'd end up going to the bar, but neither here nor there.
Progress.
But that was always ingrained in me.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear your journey of like your life actually became entrepreneurship in real estate because of your experience of it. I had none, but when I lost everything, when I was personally as an adult, like destitute, sleeping on a couch, real estate was that like, I could make it with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could really make it. And so that's a very interesting story that you had that at such a young age.
Yeah.
And what did it like continue to exist, or did you lose it a little while? And then as you guys started to build a family, like, I really think real estate's my thing, or did you always have an interest?
I
in it?
still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
That's it.
So we just keep moving and grooving and trying stuff. So we hit goals and we put like, 1 year goals, 5 year goals, and we always crush them early. So then we're like, that's it. All right, what's next? What's next? I don't think I'll ever be satisfied, or, even when you hit that goal, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied.
Yeah, I think probably here over the last probably 90 days, we really set down our kids are leaving the house, they're getting older. What do we want to do? Who do we want to be even after they're gone, right? Because Shane and Victoria still have to move forward. Yeah. Is that we've set goals, like you said, 1 year, 2 year, and 5 years out. And we've always crushed them. So we're like, well, shit, now our goals are just way too small, right?
Yeah.
We got to go way bigger. So I think what we realized here over the last 90 days is that it's not the goal that makes us, that fulfills us, because it's not.
Right.
Like everybody, if you have a home and a white picket fence and 2 kids and a dog, that's perfect. When we achieved that early on, and it wasn't it.
It was boring.
So we sold everything. That was way boring.
Boring, right?
And we literally looked at each other like, hey, if we stay here for another 10 years, we're not going to make it. Like, this shit is boring. We got to shake this
always
up.
the journey. Like, I bet when you thought
100%,
about
yeah.
getting the house, the white picket, the kids, the dog, and that's exciting. And you start building to it, and then you get it, and you go,
That's it?
That's it.
shit's boring.
Yeah.
Like, great.
But growing up with, her background, and mine was a little bit different, but I didn't come from a wealthy family or anything like that.
Sure.
Nothing at all, right? My parents didn't really give me anything except for the opportunity to go do to go earn it myself.
And the support.
And the support to go earn it myself. Not financial support, but just if you do fail, you got a place to come back home as long as you got a plan.
Yeah.
You ain't got a plan, you ain't coming back.
Yeah.
If I
Right.
failed, I ain't got nowhere to go.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you couldn't.
Yeah.
You didn't have an option.
Right.
Sometimes that's the best place to be,
It is.
right? When your back
100%.
literally is against the wall,
Yeah.
or you are at a place of like rock bottom.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one option. There's not really a lot of angles. And
Yeah.
and I find, as someone that I've coached a lot of entrepreneurs in a lot of different sectors, primarily in the real estate space, but like when people have options, it is a lot harder for them to be successful.
That's where we're sitting right now.
Okay.
We've reached those goals. It's kind of boring. We love the stress. We love the journey. We have some
We own an
Some
RV
we
dealership.
own an RV dealership. We're not from the industry, right? We bought a
Right.
piece of real estate that was zoned for it. We said, like, fuck it, why not? Let's go, right? We actually started a car dealership on it,
Yeah.
and it made money, right? But it's so slimy. It was so backstabbing.
Do you have
like,
any experience in car
No,
dealerships?
no,
Never.
well, actually,
Any experience in
our
RV
experience in a car
dealerships?
dealer in a car
RV.
dealership was one day when we lived in the white picket fence
Yeah.
house in North Texas. We were driving down the road and Victoria wanted a new car, and she's like, "Why don't you just buy a car dealership and then I can just drive what I want every day?" That's
I hate
literally
going to the car
how it
dealership.
started. That is exactly
I just
how
want
it
to.
started.
I don't want to negotiate with a salesman. Like, tell me the price, and if it works, let's go. Like, I'm very black and white.
Yeah.
This back and forth stuff, like, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to go buy it. I want to click a button.
Yes
and
or
buy it.
no?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so you went and bought a car dealership.
Well, we bought the property. Like, it was a piece of real estate.
Sure.
That was a great deal for us. So we bought it. It was zoned. We started the dealership. It was doing good, but we hated it. So we put our personal RV on it that we were living in, because after we left Texas, we sold our home and everything, kept our properties. We moved on to a sailboat, traveled, lived in the Caribbean for a while, came back for hurricane season,
Mm.
put the sailboat up for sale, and then we moved to Asia. So our kids went to, well, I don't know, sixth grade, fifth grade, relevant equivalent over there. They went to school in Thailand. They speak Thai. She could probably sing a Thai song for you right now. Speaks a little Russian.
That's amazing.
So we came back, bought another boat. I mean, we had a bunch of different things that we were doing there for probably about a 5-year period, just traveling and living. And it really, from my perspective, she and I got a lot tighter, a lot closer. We worked together.
Because the
really-
traveling part.
the
you
traveling
just-
piece of it, you have to be close together, right?
Sure.
When we're on the boat, I mean, she spent her 32nd birthday 600 miles offshore, like 5 days in a row. We didn't see
Hopefully
land.
some champagne.
Actually, Ava baked her a cake when we were
Yeah.
underway offshore and stuff
It was
like that.
great.
But when you're offshore in that capacity, like I'm the mechanic, I'm the medic, I'm the fire chief.
That's
We
right.
are everything, right?
Yeah.
We make our own water, we do our own sewer, we make our own electricity, everything. So one person can't do it. So it put us in a position where, I was the captain. Everybody had a very specific role to do and play, and we just came together as a family, like really tight. And for us, that was a really great thing.
That's
And that has carried on
Yeah.
beyond.
And
the
it lets
boat.
it lets you shed like all of, what kind of car do you drive? How many garages do you have?
kind of bag do you got?
What kind of shoes do you have?
Right.
Like, we lived in North Dallas, and I mean,
Our house was smaller than most of our friends' garages.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
So we've always lived well below our means, very humble, and
Stuff doesn't matter to us. Things don't matter.
The more I interview people and the more elevation I get in success and whatever, there's always some level of a common theme. And one of those tends to be the ultra successful for a very long period of time, more than reasonable, live below their means
Mhm.
until there's like this break at like, oh, okay, we can really
And it doesn't
afford to
matter.
not do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's unreasonable for us, right? And so I love to hear that level of success that you guys had came from kind of this fundamental, like you would live on a boat, right?
Yeah.
You didn't need the biggest and best and nicest. I mean, we're so caught up in the US on
Oh, huge.
what are you wearing and what zip code do you live in and how many bedrooms do you have and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's literally just ingrained in us through and through. I believe the next 12 months is going to get pretty tricky for people. And I think the government's going to have to address it.
oh yeah,
Because it is such a thing right now.
Yeah.
So let's go current state of affairs. We're in an RV.
Current state of affairs. We still have our properties in Texas.
Okay.
We've sold a few of them.
How many do you have now?
we're down to 12.
Down to 12.
Down to
and
12.
your peak was almost 40?
50, 55, 53, 55.
That's
something right in there.
phenomenal. With
Yeah.
no real estate background, just kind of like learning as you go. Some
As a
basic
matter of-
economics, like if you buy it for this and rent it for this, it seems pretty good. Right? I mean,
That's one thing that kind of irks us all the time is when, like, Victoria's in some different mastermind classes
Yeah.
and groups, and they talk about cap rates and NOI and all this stuff. It's like, no, look, keep it simple.
Very simple.
The simpler it is, the more profitable it is.
mhm.
How much are you paying for it? What's your mortgage? What's your insurance? What's your taxes? What's your maintenance? And how much can you rent it for? And if that's the profit you want to make, that's what you do.
Then you buy it.
It's simple.
Yeah.
All the other stuff to us doesn't matter.
Yeah. The only downside, just because I've done it for 20 years, is the maintenance of it all, right? The
Yeah.
unforeseen, like, everything was great for 18 months, and then month 19, AC or whatever,
Yep.
like, oh, that,
That's why you got to have 20, not 2.
economies
Yeah.
of scale is the only way to do it. I tell people all the time, like, if you're gonna go buy 5 rentals, do something else with your
Tough.
money.
Yeah.
It is a tough game. Like, I actually believe economies of scale in the single family space, just because that's my vertical.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have 100 doors before it's even a little bit sexy. Like, it can exist at 50 doors and you did fine, but like,
It was good, but
a couple things happen, you take the whole year's profit out of that year because,
Yep.
a roof here and AC here and hurricane windows and whatever, right? And you're just like, that kind of sucks. But so now we're liquidating, maybe pressing reset. What's
We're pressing reset because it's become the management of it, since we're not there locally anymore, and she's not there. When she's an excellent operator.
Yeah.
So in all of our businesses, so we're liquidating that a little bit. We're going to go a little bit bigger into either RV parks or larger apartment complexes that we've been looking at, different things here. So
we had a 29 unit townhome complex that it was rents were like $350, $400. We exited out around $1,300.
You bought it when it was renting at $350,
Yep.
$400.
And I changed. And I did it myself. Like, I would never tell people I owned it. I would always go there and be like, I'm the manager. But I mean, I would knock on people's doors. I grew up pretty rough. You have to remember
Yes,
that.
you're not
So,
scared. You're not scared.
Yeah.
What part of, where was that? Was that in Texas?
North Dallas. Mhm.
Okay. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so as you guys, you're liquidating for what purpose?
Just changing. Like, so we own a bunch of commercial properties in
Here in Florida.
Here in Florida
Yeah.
now, and just
we're
changing.
building some offices. So we took the car dealership and converted it into an RV dealership, and it's actually been doing extremely well.
So your income comes, not all of it, but that is
Part of it
well
comes
enough
from
to-
the RV dealership. So when we started the RV dealership, we didn't want to be just like every other RV dealer. Like, the top 4 largest RV dealers in the world are all within a 2-mile circle around us. So we can't compete with that, right?
Right.
So I took, like, how do I leverage this? They're marketing geniuses. They're just, I wouldn't say they're geniuses. They are the gorillas in the room when it comes to marketing, and they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on it, right?
They just outspend.
Yeah.
They outspend everybody. So they're not genius. So we went out and hired our own in-house marketing team, social media team, and we just started getting after it. And it worked. We went through some iterations, and we finally fine-tuned it down to where it's starting to make a difference, where our competitors are coming to us saying, hey, why are my customers walking in with your ad? They're asking me to compete with your ad.
Yeah.
And these are like $100 million companies, right? Like, well, pay me X amount of money and I'll show you how we do it.
I love that.
And that's exactly how it started. So now we have a Sava Media Group is our media company. And it's not a big, sexy online and presence and everything, but we have just good, solid businesses that come to us that we're running campaigns for. We got a customer now out of the Indiana area that's got 5 locations, a dealership, a big dealership, got 5 locations, and we're running their full social online profile for them. We got med spas. We have some dentists that we're working with now. We got a couple retail shops that we're working with, and it's completely off the radar. So earlier on, you were asking us, like, who are we? What kind of target audience are we going for? It's our online presence, even my own social media company, sucks right now. So we're looking to expand that networking, get bigger. This is something that we've never done before. We've never put ourselves out there. We've never networked. We've always just looked at each other and said, what do we want? Let's go get it together. And that's exactly how we've gotten to where we are.
Well, listen, I lean into, so I really am a firm believer of what you guys are about to start your journey on, which is the networking and building the people capital, right? Because the people capital will last you a lifetime. It'll feed you for a lifetime, right?
Yep.
And there's good and bad years in business, right? Everyone has them. But if you have good people capital, that can last throughout the bad years and the droughts and whatnot.
Yep.
This media company came out of nowhere.
It
was born inside the
organic.
RV dealership.
Yeah.
So,
Because someone said, hey, how are you doing what you're doing?
Yep.
Again, it never ceases to amaze me when I sit here in front of individuals and I go, how great is that? Right? Like, you had no agenda. You weren't trying to become some social media agency. It was never a plan. Didn't draw it up and, okay, here's how we're going to launch it. It was because someone said, hey, you're doing something I'm not. Can you help?
Yep.
And you said, all right, I think I can.
Why not?
Yeah, I can. Definitely we can do it. So we brought them on board, and then that happened. And then another vendor that we use that supplies us with parts and stuff for RVs came in and said, man, I see your TikToks and Instagrams everywhere. I want to do that. How do I do that? It's like, pay me this much and we'll do it for you. I'll send the people down.
Yeah.
And the light bulb went off and we broke it out. And so now we're running an RV dealership. We have Sava Media Group. That's growing actually.
I mean, it sounds like you're from dental to RVs to auto. Like what's an avatar that you could do? Can you do it for anybody, anything? Is there kind of a segment of?
We're not a end all be all for everyone. Like we focus on results. So when we have people that come to us quite often and we're like, what result are you looking for? If they're after impressions and views and all this kind of stuff, well, that's not us.
Okay.
Like I want to be able to say, you gave me $10,000 this month. I put, 50 back in your pocket and we track it.
So
to that
real
level.
conversion.
Just real straight results. 100%.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Keep it right. Cost of acquisition.
That's it.
And you want to keep yours. So in this sense, your agency fee is not the same as the marketing spend. So you would say, I'll do this for 10 grand. Does that include whatever spend is going on? Or is it straight
No,
organic?
ad spend is on top of that.
Yeah.
We do organic and then ad spend on top of that, depending if we need to get ad spend out of it. So we
you
don't
guys are
pick
good
up
at the
everyone.
organic.
We're getting pretty good at it. Yeah.
It's
It's
by the
working.
way,
That's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So
No, but which is incredible because as someone who does a lot of content, obviously, organic is the hardest to break.
It is very hard and it changes so fast daily, right? And every platform's different, right?
I mean, so talk about masterminds and being a part of communities. My buddy who's done a really good job with TikTok, which I've done, and Instagram, and I've done pretty good. He's like, hey, I'm just going to create a group to mastermind around everyone's success, and because whatever, someone I'm happy to introduce you guys to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But I'm always, everyone has said a couple things recently, not everyone, but some people I've interviewed / billionaires, brand and AI. And if you lead into either a personal brand or AI, you're going to do really, really well in the future. And if you don't, you're going to have a tough time because everything is going into AI, service-based, whatever. But your personal brand's your personal brand. And no one can be you, right?
Yeah.
And so I think leaning into those type of communities and being a leading source there, that could be something special for you guys.
Yeah, when it comes to AI, that's a big market, big focus for me. That's what I do a lot of research on going forward. And how do we get better at that? Whatever the reason, however, we fell into AI. So if you go into some of your top AI search, I use AI for everything when it comes to search. And if you search certain parameters on RV dealerships, we pop up first.
Okay.
So that's caught the attention of, in Google, I'm not first, not even close. But in these AI engines, which are the future, we are first. So I wouldn't say we've cracked the code. I don't know the process on how we got there. I know what we did to get there. So we're doing that with some of these other businesses. So when you go on ChatGPT and type in certain things, now our customers are starting to pop up in that chat engine as well, or the AI engine.
It is so funny to hear Google is the 800-pound gorilla in terms of search engine, right? It owns YouTube, and it's just. But I mean, gosh, is ChatGPT not just gonna speed by them?
90% of my stuff is GPT, or I use Grok a lot. We have Claude, just straight search.
This is gonna be wild to see because we're all old enough that internet didn't exist to now where we're at, and you go we're like, how is anything ever?
I mean, I'm not saying my age or anything, but
I mean, you go back to my tech days. I was the guy that was walking into a Fortune 5 company telling them the 14 data centers you have in the U.S. where everything's on premise, we're going to move it to the cloud. What's the cloud? Everybody was scared of the cloud. And cloud is just outsourcing. It's all that. Now here we are, right? YouTube was coming out when I was sitting in Orlando with one of my customers. I remember this like it was today. And he was like, YouTube is where it's going to be. We're going to be uploading all of our content. And it was a state and local agency that I was meeting with. They were like, there's no way we're ever going to put our information out there. Now, it's all it is, right? So you're right. AI, ChatGPT, Google, better. They got a lot of work to do.
It's going to be wild to see how fast it blows by Google. And they're the 800-pound gorilla.
Yeah.
And I think Chat and these other guys are going to speed by them. Not
No, it's not going to be a traditional tech.
It's going to be
it's gone.
Within 18, 24 months. And I'm not a tech guy. You were way smarter than me when it comes to tech. I'm not. That's not my thing.
Damn, I got him fooled, huh? All right.
What So what I think is really cool that I want to speak to here is you guys currently are living in an RV.
No.
No?
No, we have a house. We lived in an RV.
I thought you guys were living and traveling with your daughter and kind of just
We do. We have an RV that we travel with.
you
we're,
do it more for fun as she travels. You do it with her.
we go with her. Oh yeah, we're part of it.
But this is still the same storyline, whether you live in the
We did live in an RV for a year. So we traveled over 10,000 miles in the U.S. in 2020.
Yeah. So during COVID, we were on a boat going to Colombia, and all the countries locked down. Of course, we're disconnected from the world. We didn't have Starlink. We didn't have any of that stuff then, right? So we were disconnected. We didn't.
That was 5
We had
years
no
ago.
idea
You
what was going
realize
on,
that?
and that was only 5 years
Colombia,
ago.
and they're like, "Sorry, you can't
Well, we
come in."
were cutting out south, and Coast Guard and everybody's like,
We were by
"Hey, you're
Turks
not."
and Caicos.
Yeah, about Turks and Caicos. They're like, you guys aren't getting in the country. Like, you either have to stay where you are, or you go back. You're a U.S. flag boat. You go back to the U.S. And so we hung out. There's some remote islands down there, and there's another family that we were with. There's a lot of families that do this. It was pretty eye opening. But we hung out for another 6 or 8 weeks, and then all of a sudden it got boring.
It was on our second boat. So we did start in a, let me back up because he jumps a lot. We were on a sailboat
Yeah.
with no AC, no generator. We did make our own water on it, and it was amazing. Like, it was great. But the thing went 6 knots. And I was like, dear God. Like,
Is that
this thing-
essentially like 10 miles an hour?
You walk faster than that down the highway, down the hallway. Yeah.
So I was like,
So you go from driving up and down the highway and flying all over the U.S. to going like max speed of like 7 miles an hour.
yeah.
Best case.
So that boat ended up, we had a chocolate lab on the boat at the time, and she wasn't doing well. So we came back, actually, Fort Lauderdale area.
Yeah.
And
Got a new boat. Press
Well, we put
reset.
that one for sale. We moved to Asia. And
Great.
did that for a year or so. We bounced all around Asia and different countries and different things. And they went to school for a little while. And
then we bought a Power Cat. We actually did buy a bigger boat, a 52-foot Power Cat. And it had all the bells and whistles, and it was very nice. That's the boat that we were on during COVID.
Okay. So the lifestyle play is where I'm leaning into.
Yep. That's when the light bulb went off for me. Is like, why am I like, we were getting to a point where it was fun, but being retired was boring too, right? We were on a boat like this, but it wasn't fulfilling like we thought it was.
Yeah.
So we were coming back. We were going to reset, get our properties back in shape. We had started a property management company that was taking care of that we owned and everything. So, and a lot of the employees that started with us day one are still on the same. We still have the exact same team in place. So I looked at, I did take another corporate job for about a year in there, and it wasn't the same. I mean, I was making tons. I could have made a killing in this company. It could have been so easy, but I would walk in the office every day. I was like, God damn, why am I letting somebody tell me I have to be in San Francisco Monday morning? I don't want to be in San Francisco Monday morning. It ain't me anymore. So that's when we started
starting the dealership.
Yeah. So we started
He had
having
his white shirt in the back, so he'd put it on, and
I'd be on a Zoom call with, here, she's taking, running credit applications out front,
yeah.
And then I'd take my shirt off, run outside and wash an RV, and then come back in and take another call. But it came to a point, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, this isn't us. We're not happy. This isn't going to end well. So let's build businesses and properties and portfolios that feed into the lifestyle that we want. And that also kind of helped us get into the RV side of the place too, right? Because we were still traveling a lot with our kids. We were still traveling back to Texas a lot.
This is a big issue in our space. I deal with it a lot in terms of building a business that satisfies the life you want versus your life having to try to satisfy the business you build. You guys have done it, in my opinion, the right way.
Have you ever been addicted to anything?
Coffee.
Cut coffee.
Can't.
You know how hard it is?
Yeah.
That's how hard it is to do that. Because like you said earlier, right?
Yeah.
We are so conditioned to have a bigger house and have nice clothes and what kind of car you drive. We're conditioned to go to work and build this and work, 40-hour week? No, you need to be putting in 90. You need to be doing this, and then whatever you have left over is where you live. Breaking that habit of building your companies to support your lifestyle is just as hard. And it takes a tremendous amount of focus every day to stay on task.
And I will say he never did it when we were traveling on the boat or the RV. he had a very hard time with it. I did it. Now I'm back in like grind mode and he's trying to pull back. So it's kind of a,
I couldn't let go. Like
You were still in grind
I
mode,
was still in
even when
grind
you were
mode.
traveling, even in the RV.
we
I
gotta
think
hurry
say
up.
by that is nature.
Yeah.
I think men are built this way, right? I mean, we are the lion. We have to go
Mhm.
hunt and feed the tribe and protect the tribe. And
Yep.
some of that I would argue is going to be nature more than necessarily him. I don't think it's a Shane thing. I think it's a man thing. But I think the other side is maybe how you're raised. And, yep. And that thing of I still kind of want these things or the ability to get them at least. Yep.
Or when you didn't have anything growing up and
Yeah.
you want those things, you know. There's certain things that stupid things that I've checked off my list. I'm like, that's it. Like, I don't want
Well,
that.
you know what? It's funny because as you guys follow me now because of this, I'm going to go through an interesting journey in my socials, and it's going to be a totally authentic, congruent, like exposure of the truth of what happened in the last 18 months of my real estate business. The reason why I really want to do that, and it's going to be like stressing me out talking about it, because it's like it's definitely not pretty.
Yeah.
Let's just say it that way. And it wasn't because the interest rates. It wasn't because of the political climate and what was going. It was literally just personal things that I could have controlled that I didn't control. That because of that created a catastrophic scenario, right? And I say that to say part of all of the things we want or the things that we build come out of a pride and our ego side.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, if I have to take a 30,000 foot step back, which is a large step back, I could probably pinpoint that if I removed my ego and my pride 18 months ago, I'm not in the scenario I'm dealing with today in the real estate space. And I say that because I think if people can also realize like you can build a business and create a lot of financial success without the ego or pride being involved. And talking to you two, I feel like that's really a high mark on your agenda. It's not about the things. It's not about the ego. It's not about the pride of what we're doing.
Yeah.
We want a really cool life.
Yeah.
We want stories. We want to travel with our daughter. We want our son to go travel. Like that is a unique characteristic in the entrepreneur space. And you guys seemingly, whether you feel like you have it all under control or not, like from the outside perspective, I applaud you. You guys should applaud yourself because I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs. This is quite literally what the show's about. It is very rare. Very rare to have the qualities you guys have of what is most important in being on a boat, being the RV, right? And like creating more of a life than creating a thing or a pride or ego statement. That's awesome.
That's true. It's very tough because what I can say in our aspect, probably for both those, but for me for sure, right? I had a big ego when I met her. I was charging, and that's what you got to do, right? You got to put your blinders on and fuck everybody. That
I
ain't
bet
helping
you
grow.
also loved that about him when you guys first
I was
met.
attracted to that.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But finding the right partner means the world.
Amen.
I will give every single bit of it up today, no questions asked, because I know that we can build it back together. No questions.
Come on.
Yes.
I love that.
Yep.
You have to give
100%.
me shivers.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
that is the best thing about it. And so when you're talking about egos and stuff like that, good or bad,
Yeah.
there's days that we do not like each other at all. There's drives in the morning because we do everything together. We don't own a car, right? The dealership has cars that we drive and
kids'
stuff like.
cars.
We own our kids' cars, but so we drive in together. We do everything together.
We shower
Nobody-
together. We eat breakfast in the morning together.
brush our teeth together. We
Swear to God, it's
everything.
kind
It's-
of
But we chose each other for that reason, right? So there are drives in the morning when we're talking about our day or a week or
he's crunching
what
on
do we
his
got?
apple, and I'm like, dear.
If you don't stop eating when you're
like,
I
Crush that
didn't know my
stupid apple.
breathing could get on her nerves so much, So that stuff happens, but we have learned each other and read each other well enough and respect each other enough in that aspect that we can't put each other's ego in check. Because there are a lot of times that that ego comes out and you just want to and they're like, hey, 6 months from now, what do we want to be? Does that matter? Does this matter? And we're able to keep that in check.
and
So
I'm
that's
pretty.
huge.
I have a
That is
strong
huge.
personality myself. I'm pretty spicy.
And I'm not talking about her keeping my ego in check. I'm talking about keeping her. Yeah.
It's really the reverse.
It's backwards now, yeah. So it's big, yeah. If I didn't have her, it would be who knows what would be going on. That makes a huge difference,
Yeah.
huge difference. And the fact that we're both locked in on keeping it fun, like we're married, we have kids and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we're like, hey, if it ain't fun, we got to change it up, or it won't last.
Yeah.
Period. So we always keep that core.
We've
in
been
our
together 20
relationship.
years. So
20 years.
Yeah.
That's
20
awesome.
years.
So building the lifestyle, right? When the media company came out and people started, businesses started coming to us as it's growing, I was like, well, holy shit. We have the RV dealership that allows us to travel all over the U.S. and go to these barrel races, and we'll be in Las Vegas in December. She qualified to run and race in Las Vegas. So we'll be out for probably 3 weeks doing that. So all this stuff.
And so you'll grab the RV, you'll be in
we'll have the
Vegas,
horse
you'll
and a
be-
trailer on the back of the RV, and we're driving out.
And you're working and hanging and having
Working and
fun
hanging.
and doing the dinners and going to her shows.
Yep.
We're always working. People ask me, like, do you take days off? No, I work 8 days a week.
Yeah.
If I like it.
Let's
I
talk
enjoy
about
it.
this. Genuinely, I think it is something that the outside world doesn't really understand about entrepreneurship.
And it's not really working. We enjoy it. We love it.
But
It's constant.
you're on your phone or you're on your laptop or you're dealing with something where a 9-to-5er can be like, it's the
Oh, yeah.
weekend, fuck off.
That's part of the network
That's
I want to grow that drives me freaking nuts.
What?
The 9-to-5er.
You want to grow that network?
No, I want to grow the network of owners who can help me
Entrepreneurs.
deal with that. Because
Yeah.
right now, I'll cut it quick. I want a result. I don't care if you got something on the weekend.
Right.
I hired you for a result,
That's right.
but I don't get that with 9-to-5ers. And it drives me freaking nuts.
And part of what I do love about real estate is, for the most part, it's a 7-day a week. Like, you can always kind of get somewhere. Holidays, every realtor takes off for whatever reason, which is annoying. Fridays end awfully early for realtors as well.
Yeah.
But, I would tell you, I'm the same way. And I think that is something that entrepreneurs, at least people that want to be, or maybe aspiring as they sit here and listen or watch this, I would encourage those to take a lesson from these two, because it is not, 9 to 5. It is quite literally like 24/7, 24/8, like all day, every day. It is a hustle. It is a grind. Now, there's a certain level you can hit that maybe you guys don't even want to get there. And that could be a reality of like building a big enough business that you can remove yourself. But to do that,
What it takes to do it.
that's not for everyone either. Bigger's not always better.
Yeah.
It's about, that's very key, right? It's not about being a big giant company. So on the media side, I set out and we don't do big pushes. We're not trying to be the end all be all to everybody, because I want a good core of great employees, which I have some now. And I want them to have growth. I want them to have future. I want them to have freedom, and I want them to love being in the company. I don't care if I'm billing $400,000 a month or $100,000 a month or $50,000 a month. If we're happy and it's giving us the freedom to do what we want, that's what I want.
And
That's what
part
we're
of the
going after.
success, like, we love to see people win. If you want to win or you want to better yourself, like, we are all for it. Like, I want people on my team to win. I want them to, like, make more money than me. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
So when people have that drive and stuff, like, I want to push them. I want to love
We love
them
that
up.
fire in the eyes.
Yeah. The next chapter going into the next, let's call it 3 years. Give you guys a 3-year target. What do you see you guys doing for the next 3 years? Where do you think your push, your goal, your agenda will be for the next 36 months?
Growing and stabilizing the media company.
Interesting.
I mean, we love that. From a travel perspective, like, I was able to, we wanted to travel. We wanted to go to Iceland. So I was able to pick up the phone, make some phone calls. I found a couple rental companies in Iceland that rent RVs out. I said, hey, here's who I am. I have a marketing company. We want to come shoot some content. We
Which it
worked
was
out a
only
deal.
3 weeks old at the time. By the
Yeah,
way.
the media company was only 3 weeks old,
no.
but the experience was there. We had it. So next thing I know, boom, we booked flights. We took off. We spent 7 or 8 days in Iceland. Victoria and I had an RV that we were driving around. Our son and daughter had an RV. So we had 2 RVs. We caravanned all around Iceland for like 8 days.
It was
We
incredible.
shot incredible footage, and we were on that vacation. We call it a vacation. That trip was great because it wasn't just going to the pool and sitting by the pool on the beach, or it wasn't just going on vacation, right? We were working, but it was a working vacation that was just excellent. We all had roles. We're going to this waterfall and we're shooting, so we were working while we were doing it, and it was great. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was great. So that piece of it, going 3 years out, I want to see Sava Media and like in the Middle East. I want to see us overseas a little bit more. I'm talking to some boat manufacturers in Eastern Europe right now. So
They'd be clients for you.
they'd be clients for us, that allow us to travel. They would allow my entire team to travel.
So they'd be a client for you. In return, they give you
They're paying us as a retainer and paying travel. And, how do we work that out, right? Or maybe a boat,
Or you
right?
have to pay them for the boat that you take for 3 weeks.
That's right. Yeah. So whatever it is, right? It's all about
The barter system. That's a lost system, by the way. There's a lot of bartering that should be done these days, don't you think? Like,
I'm
I
down.
have what I want, I have what you want. Why don't we barter for that?
Yeah. Yeah. You can pay me X amount of money or give us access to this for so many months, and then
That's
we're
it.
good. Yeah.
Why not?
So we're open.
So the
to
media
all of those
company is
things,
going to be a head
big
down
play.
venture for the next 36 months to build it.
Yep.
Do you have a goal? Do you have like, I want to get it to this. This is where I'd like us to be.
I have a revenue
Typically,
number.
yes, but no.
Yes, but no.
I got to enjoy the journey is what
Yes.
she's telling me. Don't focus on the end result.
I agree that.
Keep it in check. That's what she.
Because
just did
otherwise
right
you're going to
there.
get there and say, yeah, but now what?
Yeah.
But if you enjoy that whole journey, it is a struggle. It's a fight every day for me, and I'm sure it's for you, to really be aware of the moments in the journey, because we're builders. That's who we are as men.
I'll go back to like that 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So there's days that I wish I was on a salary, like where I didn't have to do anything. Because I would say the first year we opened up our car dealership, probably the first 13 deals that I did, I didn't realize, like, I'd never done financing before. I'd never done like sales tax. I'd never done title work. None of this stuff. Like, I'm selling cars. I'm like, I'm selling these cars. First 13 cars that I sold, I owed them thousands of dollars, like.
Wait, that's
That was like,
No, we did it all backwards.
I was like,
it was
fuck
great.
this.
Yeah.
There's days that I would grab my purse. It would be me and Shane. I'm like, I quit. I'd pack my purse up and I'd go home.
She'd
and
cry in the car on her way home, and I'm sitting there like, well, damn, I ain't got a car to get home with now.
But sold all the cars, but we actually have to pay them to take them. And now I don't have a car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sales tax was a tricky thing. We had to learn the hard way. Luckily, we were in a position where we could pay it out, and we got an accounting firm now that pays it monthly and all that stuff now. But man, that could have been.
You said something that I almost want to end with this, just for the sake of time. And by the way, everyone, make sure you're following them on socials. Would you like them to follow you specifically anywhere personally, or
Nothing personal. Sorry.
Well, no, like Instagram, LinkedIn.
You can follow
TikTok.
us at Sava Media Group.
Sava
SAVA Media Group.
Sava Media Group.
Yep.
Make sure you're following this two incredible couple. You said something that you made all kinds of mistakes when you started this RV park. I say something in today, like even as I start to go through this journey of what happened to me, in 2024, and tell everyone and expose it all and say what happened. Part of that is the authenticity of, like, I don't care how long you've been doing it, whether it's your first day or it's your 100th year, you're going to fuck some shit up.
Yeah.
But there's a quote that says something about doing it wrong enough, long enough.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just keep going, even though you learn from it.
Yep.
And that's such a powerful statement for you guys to say. Now we still have this RV dealership. It's profitable. We pay ourselves, but to start that, you weren't like crushing it, and you didn't realize you had the taxes that you were going to owe. But people don't realize that. They're like, oh, look at this couple now. They're amazing. They're traveling the RV, and they don't remember those days. They don't know the days that you get in a car and you're crying and you're freaking out and you're like, oh my God.
Yep.
Or the days, like in the early days, the rental properties, like my painter wouldn't show up, and I was like, shit, I got tenants that are moving in 2 days. I got to go clean this house, and I got to go paint the damn walls.
Yeah.
And I'm there till 1 a.m. painting. And he's like,
literally have our kids at 6 and 8 years old in there with a scraper scraping the old linoleum up so we can lay new flooring down at like 1 in the morning,
You guys are just so endearing, because that's what it takes.
That's what it
Regardless how big you want to build it or not. Like, entrepreneur shit, this isn't easy. It's not for everybody. It's really not.
It's not.
People, I have a couple friends who are like, oh, everyone should be an entrepreneur. And I'm kind of like,
it's not
bro,
really
I think
for
we're
everybody.
psychos.
I think it'd be a lot easier for us if everybody was. We could learn from their mistakes and they'd fall out, right?
That's
why
why
I'm building the baseline.
Dude, this audiobook game, I'm just like constantly listening to these things, trying to learn from these mistakes, man.
We need more people failing so they can blaze a little bit of a trail and show us what not to do, right?
Guys, you're incredible. You're going to have a great journey. I'm excited to now get closer to you guys and your family and to see where all this goes. And this has been great.
Perfect. Yeah, we
Perfect.
appreciate
Thanks
being
for
here.
having us.
Shane, Victoria.
Yep.
Sava Media Group on Instagram.
Yep.
Or Shane Childress.
Or Shane Childress.
Yep.
Instagram. Check it out. Guys, if these two were pretty cool, if you learned something or just like this episode, share it with 2 of your friends. I'd greatly appreciate it. See you on the next episode.
Perfect.
See ya.